A woman is planning to rob your house, and one family member is involved in ways. Archangel Michael says, "Listen carefully, because what I reveal today is not ordinary. It is a revelation meant to save you, protect you, and open your eyes before the danger strikes your doorstep." A shadow has already begun to move near your house. This is not a random act of mischief or a passing thought of evil, it is a calculated plan, one that involves someone you know and trust. There is a woman, her presence hidden in plain sight, yet her intentions as sharp as a blade. She has been watching, waiting, studying, and aligning her steps to the moments when your guard is down. But what makes this even more chilling is that she is not working alone. One family member is connected, knowingly or unknowingly, and this connection is the open door she plans to walk through. This truth has been whispered in the realm of spirit long before it reached your ears now. It is not only about robbery in the material sense, it is about stealing your peace, your trust, and your divine inheritance of safety. The betrayal cuts deeper because it weaves its roots into family, a place where love should reside, yet instead, a weakness has become a passage for destruction. I must prepare you, not with fear, but with awareness. Suspense is building around you even as I write this. The woman has intentions that stretch far beyond physical theft. Her presence carries energies that stir unease in your environment, and if left unchecked, she will turn your own household into her playground of deception. Type Amen 333 if you believe the heavens are already stepping in to block her path. Her eyes are fixed on opportunity. She studies the movement of your household, the times of silence, the shadows where nobody looks. She pretends to be harmless, cloaking herself with the disguise of normality, but behind her smile is the hunger to strip you of what belongs to you. The family member tied into this plan may not even fully understand the consequences. They are either blinded by manipulation or weakened by personal struggles that the woman has cleverly taken advantage of. It is through this weak link that her hands stretch toward your door. The danger here is not in the obvious but in the hidden. When threats come from strangers, you build walls, you prepare, you guard yourself. But when the open door comes from your bloodline, your trust, your family, it becomes a wound that no one expects until it bleeds. The spiritual realm has already seen her footsteps, and that is why this message has reached you at this moment. You are not too late. You are being given divine warning before the snare is pulled tightly around your home. Type Amen 444 to declare that the plan will collapse before it begins. This woman has been circling for longer than you think. Her interest is not random, it is rooted in envy, bitterness, and an obsession with what you have. She believes you do not deserve your blessings, and in her distorted mind, she convinces herself that taking from you is justified. Her thoughts are sharp and restless at night. She calculates the steps, creating false reasons to linger around, sending messages, or weaving herself into conversations that place her closer to your family. Every word she speaks is bait, designed to open a path into your space. The family member she manipulates is her perfect opening. They have lowered their guard, trusting her without realizing the danger they are welcoming. This is how betrayal always works. It does not knock openly, it seeps in quietly, gaining ground until the moment of revelation. You are at the edge of that revelation now. This is why the heavens chose to reveal her name, her intent, and her link to your family. She believes her plan is hidden, but before she could make her move, the truth has already been placed in your hands. Type Amen 555 if you are ready to break the chain of betrayal. The night is her chosen time. Past midnight, her thoughts sharpen the most. In the stillness where the world sleeps, she plots, imagining herself moving through your space, touching what is not hers, and claiming it as her own. Her spirit is restless because it is fueled by darkness. No light guides her decisions, only shadows of greed, jealousy, and hatred. And yet, this darkness is powerless in the presence of truth. This message itself is the sword that slices through her disguise. The family member is the bridge. Without them, she cannot reach you. Without their weakness, she has no entry. This is why it is crucial for you to awaken, not only to her actions but to the vulnerability within your own home. Now, Archangel Michael says, do not let fear consume you. Let wisdom guide you. For the one who knows the danger beforehand is already in the place of victory. Type Amen 666 if you believe her steps are already stumbling in the spirit. Archangel Michael says, what is hidden in shadows is now being dragged into the light. The danger has been circling close to your walls, but heaven has decided that you will not be caught unaware. This warning is a gift, a shield, and a revelation. It is being spoken into your life so you can act with wisdom and not fall into the trap already forming around you. The woman carries within her a deep obsession with your life. She is not satisfied with what belongs to her, and that dissatisfaction has turned into hunger for what you hold. Envy has made her eyes blind to gratitude, and greed has made her footsteps restless. She has not only looked at your possessions, she has measured your peace, your safety, your trust. She has whispered to herself that these things are not deserved by you, and in her bitterness, she imagines that taking them will bring her satisfaction. But what she does not see is that her path is already cursed before she begins. The family member connected to her may appear innocent on the surface, but their silence or weakness is her open doorway. She does not need to force her way into your life when someone within your circle is unknowingly pulling back the gate for her. Type Amen 111 to declare that this doorway will be sealed before she crosses it. Her plan begins with small steps. She tests the boundaries, dropping words, making requests, drawing closer without suspicion. These small moves may appear harmless to the untrained eye, but in truth, they are the marks of a predator circling prey. She has already whispered into the ear of the family member. She feeds them with false comfort, with lies, with suggestions that make her presence seem helpful. This is how she builds trust while hiding her deeper intentions. You must not dismiss this warning as ordinary. The woman does not act alone, behind her is an energy that delights in division, in betrayal, in taking what is not rightfully hers. And yet, you have been chosen to be alerted, because heaven will never allow darkness to prosper in silence when light is present. This is the moment to awaken your spirit and sharpen your awareness. You are not defenseless, and you are not alone. The very act of reading this revelation is proof that angels are moving around your home already. Type Amen 222 if you believe divine protection is surrounding your house right now. Her thoughts are not new. They have been forming for weeks, maybe even months. She has weighed her chances, studied your home, and tried to understand the rhythm of your life. Every detail she notices becomes another piece of the puzzle she hopes to complete. The family member is her pawn. Whether knowingly or by ignorance, they are opening space for her ideas to grow stronger. They share words with her, not realizing those words are seeds she waters with her greed. Her hunger is not only for valuables, it is also for control. She wants the satisfaction of knowing she invaded your peace, that she left her mark where she had no right to. Her plan is more than theft, it is a spiritual violation of trust, an attempt to make you feel unsafe in your own space. But light exposes darkness, and revelation breaks power. What she thought was hidden has now been declared. Every plan loses its strength once it is exposed, for exposure is the weapon heaven uses to disarm evil. Type Amen 333 if you believe exposure has already broken her grip. Her strategy is built on timing. She waits for moments when your guard is lowered. She looks for silence, absence, or distraction. Every pause in your awareness is an opportunity she imagines is hers. But what she cannot see is the shield rising around you. Archangel Michael says, when a warrior of heaven draws their sword, no shadow can succeed, no matter how carefully it plans. This is your assurance, you are not blind, you are not weak, and you are not unprotected. The family member who has been drawn into this web is not beyond redemption. They can be awakened, pulled out, and made to see truth. But if they choose to remain blind, their connection will shatter under the pressure of divine justice. Your awareness is your greatest shield. To know is to prepare, and to prepare is to win before the battle begins. That is why this word came at the perfect moment, because the danger was already forming near, and heaven could not remain silent. Type Amen 444 to break the cycle of betrayal forming in your family line. The woman is persistent. Even when blocked, she finds new ways to circle back. She thrives on testing boundaries, believing persistence will eventually wear down your guard. But her persistence is also her weakness, for it exposes her true nature over time. The family member must be watched carefully. Their actions, their words, their silence, they hold clues to the deeper plot. The woman uses them like a hidden key, a tool to gain entry, but she underestimates the power of divine revelation that is now cutting through her disguise. Every time she thinks the plan is working, a disruption appears. Something shifts, something delays, something makes her steps unsteady. This is the evidence that her path is cursed, that her plans will never take root fully. You are already standing in the place of victory. The warning is not to create fear, it is to empower you with truth. When truth is revealed, fear loses its voice, and you gain the strength to rise above betrayal. Type Amen 555 if you believe victory is already sealed in your favor. The night whispers with her intent, but the morning answers with light. Every shadow she creates is broken when truth is declared. She cannot hide from divine eyes, for her steps are counted, her words are recorded, and her intentions are known before she speaks them. The family member may feel torn. They are caught between loyalty and weakness, between truth and deception. But heaven's hand is stronger than human weakness, and when the moment comes, clarity will be forced upon them. Archangel Michael says, what she tries to steal will return sevenfold against her. What she thinks she can touch will burn in her hands. She does not realize she is playing with fire, and fire consumes those who step too close with wicked intent. You are protected not only in spirit but also in the natural. Already, walls are being built around you, walls of awareness, walls of strength, walls of divine interruption. Nothing she touches will prosper, for this message is your proof that her time has run out. Type Amen 666 to declare her defeat in both spirit and flesh. The woman has already convinced herself that she will not be caught. Her pride is dangerous, because she mistakes silence for weakness. She believes that if nobody speaks of her actions, then her steps are invisible. But what she does not realize is that the heavens do not stay silent forever. When danger grows too close to the innocent, angels intervene. When betrayal weaves itself into family, divine justice begins to stir. This is where you stand now, on the edge of revelation. What was once hidden has now been uncovered, and with every passing moment, more of her disguise is being stripped away. She is not as unseen as she thinks, and her confidence will soon crumble. The family member who is her doorway does not understand the full danger. They may think they are simply helping a friend or trusting too easily. But their actions are placing your household in risk, and their silence is making room for her deception. Type Amen 777 if you believe her false confidence is already collapsing under heaven's light. She has studied the details of your home carefully. She knows where silence falls, she knows when doors are unlocked, and she knows the rhythms of movement within your space. Her plan is precise, calculated, and driven by envy. Yet what she cannot plan for is divine interruption. No calculation can outsmart the hand of God. No timing can override the timing of heaven. Her steps are already being disrupted even as she imagines they are steady. The family member is the weak link, but weakness does not last forever. Heaven strengthens those who fall into deception once they awaken. That is why exposure is happening now, so they too can be shaken awake before it is too late. Her hands may already itch with the desire to touch what is yours, but the moment she stretches them forward, she will meet a wall she cannot cross. That wall is built not with stone, but with the power of truth and angelic presence. Type Amen 888 to seal the wall of protection around your home. Every plot is born in darkness, but darkness cannot last. When light shines, shadows disappear. The woman's plan is already falling apart because you now know what she hoped would remain unseen. She believed the family member's weakness would be her easy passage. She underestimated the fact that angels watch every hidden conversation, every secret step, every whispered thought. Nothing remains concealed forever when heaven has declared exposure. The spirit that fuels her is not one of peace. It is restless, manipulative, and jealous. This is why she cannot stop circling your life, why she cannot simply leave you alone, because envy does not rest until it destroys or is destroyed. But she has reached the end of her cycle. This is the moment where envy turns against itself, where her greed leads her into her own downfall. By attempting to rob you, she has already robbed herself of peace, of safety, and of mercy. Type Amen 999 if you believe her cycle ends tonight. The family member will feel the weight of truth soon. They cannot hide forever under her influence. Their eyes will be opened, and when they see the woman's true intentions, the guilt will crush them. This is not only about your possessions, it is about the safety of your spirit, your home, and your bloodline. The woman's plan is a direct attack on your foundation, but heaven will not allow the foundation to break. You are covered, guarded, and upheld. Archangel Michael says, "This battle is not yours to fight alone. The sword of heaven has already been drawn on your behalf, and the strike of justice will silence her plans before she ever steps through your door. Your strength now is in remaining watchful. Do not fear, do not panic, but remain aware. You have been warned so that no deception can touch you again." Type Amen 11:11 to declare complete victory over this attack. Her obsession will lead her to make mistakes. The more she presses, the more obvious she will become. The family member will no longer be able to cover her tracks, because divine exposure is relentless. Already, small cracks are appearing in her disguise. People around her are noticing her strange behavior, her unusual words, her restless spirit. What she once hid so carefully is now spilling into the open. She cannot run from the consequences of her choices. Every attempt to steal, to betray, to manipulate will return against her multiplied. She is setting fire to her own life by touching what was never hers to begin with. You, on the other hand, are being elevated through this. What was meant to harm you is being turned into your awakening, your strength, and your testimony. You will rise from this with greater wisdom, greater protection, and greater peace. Type Amen 12:12 if you believe your strength is being multiplied even now. Her shadow grows bolder with each passing day. She believes no one sees her, yet her movements are being tracked by the spirit world. Every time she steps closer, her presence is marked, and her disguise is stripped away layer by layer. She has already imagined herself inside your space. She plays it out in her mind as if it is already done. This fantasy feeds her obsession, and the more she feeds it, the more reckless she becomes. The family member caught in her web may feel they are simply being kind, but their actions are opening the cracks in your walls. They cannot see that her kindness is poisoned, her intentions disguised behind false words. Yet the Spirit of truth does not allow poison to remain hidden for long. Even before she makes her move, the heavens have declared her defeated. Her plans will collapse, and her steps will lead her into her own snare. What she thought was strength will turn into weakness the moment she acts. Type Amen 13:13 if you believe her snare is already closing on herself. This woman thrives on secrecy. Her strength is in hiding, in keeping her true motives buried under smiles and small talk. But when secrets are revealed, her strength turns to dust. She fears being exposed more than anything else. Exposure strips away her power, and it removes the influence she has over the family member she manipulates. This is why she will fight hard to keep her mask in place, but her mask is already cracking. The family member is slowly awakening. Something within them is starting to feel uneasy. They may not admit it, but deep down, they know they are being used. This is the beginning of their turning point. Once truth is revealed, deception cannot remain. Once eyes are opened, blindness cannot return. And once betrayal is exposed, loyalty can be rebuilt on stronger foundations. Type Amen 14:14 if you believe truth is exposing every hidden corner of her plan. She waits for darkness to cover her steps, but what she forgets is that darkness cannot hide from light. The moment she acts, her hands will betray her. The very family member she thinks is her ally will become the channel of her downfall. Your home is being guarded more than you know. The walls around you are not just physical, they are spiritual, reinforced by prayers, by protection, and by angelic presence. She cannot break through what has been sealed by heaven. Her greed blinds her. She cannot see the trap she is setting for herself. She believes she is clever, but cleverness without righteousness is foolishness in disguise. Every step she takes draws her closer to judgment. Every thought she entertains pulls her deeper into her own destruction. What she intends to steal will become the proof of her guilt. Type Amen 15:15 if you believe her judgment is already sealed. Archangel Michael says, "The home of the righteous is not an easy target. It is a dwelling place of angels, and no thief, no betrayer, no schemer can stand against the army of heaven that surrounds it." This is why you feel the urgency in this message. This is not ordinary, it is a shield of words, a prophecy of protection, and a sign that the heavens are fighting for you. The woman's whispers will turn into loud accusations against her when her deeds are revealed. What she thought was hidden in darkness will be shouted in the light. She will have no place to run, no excuse to hide behind. The family member who allowed her close will face their moment of truth. They will have to choose, remain bound in deception, or break free and step into the light. Their choice will determine the path ahead, but heaven has already prepared the way for protection. Type Amen 16:16 if you believe this is the hour of exposure and release. Her plans are fragile because they are not rooted in truth. Lies always fall apart when tested by time. And her lies are beginning to unravel. Those who once believed her are beginning to doubt. The cracks are showing, the story no longer holds together, and her charm is wearing thin. This is the natural consequence of deception, it cannot survive forever. The family member she uses will soon see her true face. When the mask falls, shock will come, but so will freedom. For betrayal always reveals itself at the right time, and this time is almost here. You will not be taken by surprise. You will not be shaken. Instead, you will stand firm, strengthened by the warning you received before the storm hit. Type Amen 17:17 if you believe you are unshaken and guarded by divine strength. Her footsteps may draw near, but she cannot cross the threshold of your protection. The closer she comes, the heavier her spirit becomes, weighed down by the consequences she thought she escaped. Every lie she told is turning against her. Every manipulation is being revealed. Every silent step is echoing loudly in the spiritual realm. The family member who was once her cover is losing the ability to hide her presence. Their silence will break, their words will spill, and their actions will expose her without her realizing it. Her end is coming faster than she knows. The more she presses forward, the quicker she walks into the trap designed by her own choices. Type Amen 18:18 if you believe her own steps are leading her to destruction. The air around your home has felt unsettled for a reason. It is not imagination, it is the energy of someone circling with hidden motives. The woman has been trying to find the perfect moment, but what she doesn't know is that heaven already chose the moment of her downfall. She imagines herself winning, but her victory is an illusion. The more she plans, the more the spiritual world tightens around her. What she believes is her strength is really the rope she is wrapping around her own neck. The family member will feel the weight of this soon. Their connection to her will no longer feel safe, no longer feel hidden. Instead, guilt will burn in their chest, and they will no longer be able to ignore the truth. Even if they try to cover her, heaven will uncover her. Even if they try to excuse her, her own actions will betray her. And even if they try to protect her, divine justice will tear the mask from her face. Type Amen 1919 if you believe her disguise is being ripped away in this very hour. Her strength lies in deception, but deception is fragile. It only survives as long as people remain blind. But once the blindfold is removed, deception collapses like a house of sand in a storm. The woman has used charm to move unnoticed. She has smiled, spoken kindly, and acted as if she carried no hidden intentions. But her charm is a mask, and masks always crack under pressure. The family member connected to her has believed the mask for too long. They trusted her, perhaps even defended her. But the time is coming when they will see the truth that has been hidden all along. When that moment arrives, everything will change. Loyalty will shift, deception will crumble, and betrayal will face its end. The plot against you will turn into a testimony of protection. Type Amen 2020 if you believe deception is crumbling before your eyes. The woman has underestimated divine timing. She thought she could strike without notice. She thought she could move in shadows forever. But heaven never allows darkness to remain undisturbed for too long. Her greed made her blind. She did not see that every step closer to your house was also a step closer to her exposure. She cannot escape what has already been declared in the heavens. The family member will feel torn. Their heart will battle between guilt and silence, between truth and denial. But heaven will not let them rest until they face the reality of what they have allowed. Her plan is already collapsing. What she thought was solid ground is turning into quicksand beneath her feet. The more she struggles to hide, the faster she sinks into her own downfall. Type Amen 2121 if you believe she is sinking into the trap of her own making. Archangel Michael says, "What was sent against you will not prosper. What was meant to break you will only strengthen you. What was planned in secret will be judged in the open." The home she thought she could touch is not ordinary, it is covered, marked, and guarded. She cannot cross a threshold that has already been sealed by divine authority. Her steps are blocked, her whispers silenced, her influence shattered. The family member will no longer be her shield. Their weakness will turn into exposure, their silence into testimony. What she thought was her ally will become the evidence that destroys her plan. Your victory has already been written. This warning was not given to scare you, it was given to assure you. Nothing she touches will prosper, and nothing she steals will remain in her hands. Type Amen 2222 if you believe this victory is already sealed in your name. Her eyes will soon lose their focus. What she desired so much will slip through her fingers. She will realize too late that envy never wins, it only consumes those who hold on to it. The family member will stand in shock. They will see her fall, and they will understand how close they came to being dragged down with her. Their lesson will be heavy, but it will protect them from future deceptions. The woman will be left with nothing but regret. Every step she took against you will return against her multiplied. Every false smile, every lie, every hidden move will echo back as judgment. And you, though she tried to rob you, will not lose. Instead, you will rise with more strength, more wisdom, and more protection than before. What was meant to strip you will instead crown you. Type Amen 2323 if you believe her regret will mark the end of her story. She is restless, but restlessness cannot hide from justice. Her energy is burning itself out because it is fueled by greed and jealousy, not truth. She is running in circles, unaware that the circle is closing in on her. The family member may try one last time to protect her, to excuse her, or to cover for her. But the pressure will be too heavy. Truth always breaks through, and their silence cannot hold it back. Her plans have reached their limit. They cannot grow any further. They cannot survive another day under the weight of exposure. You are standing in the light now. Her shadow is powerless before you. The house she wanted to rob is untouchable, because heaven itself has sealed it shut. Type Amen 2424 if you believe her shadow is powerless over your home.